Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophia, pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our August special edition of one Chinese expression made of two characters a day, and the first character remained constant throughout August. And that lucky word is sheng. Its original meaning means life. That is the plant growing through the soil, means something is still alive, still rooted. And a pair with qi today in sheng qi. Okay, there is a little bit of culture crossing here because when you see get gas, you would say somebody passing the gas, right? The fart word. Actually, okay, I have to talk a little bit about my experience of learning English because there's some, bioprocessing like a gulping, belching, farting. These are not, elegant human behaviors, but it's natural to us and culturally in Chinese as well. It took the teacher quite some courage. A white guy, spent a few years teaching us on campus, and it took him quite some courage to tell us, two F words. So the the farting is one of them, because it's not a book that you're normally going to come across in books. It's colloquial a lot of times, and it's everyday life. Like who would really write about fart? Unless it's contemporary culture. I mean, they don't take that seriously or offense anymore, right? So you would wonder, get gas means you're passing gas, you're farting, right? So no, 生气 in Chinese actually means get enraged, get emotionally unstable, as if it's volatile air, gas, okay? So this gas, this qi, you see the contemporary qi and the Chinese original way of qi is very different. Contemporary is a little bit more sanitized or streamlined. You got horizontal lines, right? 1, 2, 3, one stroke over here, and the third horizontal line, you have a little tail of it. And I'm glad that they keep the tail because it's this motion, this kind of spiraling motion, that Chinese character depicting how the air goes through the air. Probably because Chinese culture also has a lot of times incense burning, at least in temples. And I'm sure ancient times households also have their ancestor on wood blocks, have their ancestor's name on wood blocks, sometimes have a pretty exquisite drawing of their ancestor, as if you can telegraph your ancestor talking to them through life and death, right? So when people do that, they also burn incense. So this incense is visible gas that you can see. So probably, I'm not sure, that language creators are noting this floating motion, kind of like a spiraling, right? And it does not, of course, cannot describe the spiral. That would be too chaotic on the 2D form. So the best way is coming off, as if it's a hot air, right? Rising up, vertically up. So that's the Chinese air depiction, just like fire. Like these are what we live with. And it's pretty straightforward how the language choose the level of simplicity versus complexity to depict the essence of that thing. And this gas, this hot air looking thing, I think is fine with me. And okay, so there we talks about Chinese use, we treat qi as something essential to measure our probably mind, mental being or mental health. So if we can even our air, right? as if when we're talking, we become softer, calmer. Our tones are more neutral. Like I'm a little bit too dramatic, but that tells a lot about that person's internal status of being. So we use qi to measure how healthy, how mentally stable, I guess, that person is. So when you, I trust it as a get gas, but probably you make or generate. So 生 come back to its original meaning, like create life, right? So when you create gas, or 生气, right, to make more air, it's almost like you are going to huff and puff, you're going to breathe heavier, and therefore you're kind of emotionally and airily, breathingly showing it, that work yourself up. So that's probably the Chinese observation of how gas or breathing is associated with temper. So if somebody get upset and get aggressive, start to, the body language probably get more aerial. So more, we're using qi to depict that. So I'm just choosing this cute little puppy to show pissed, because this is what came up when I searched for pissed. 生气 in English probably can be translated as pissed, because in English we have angry, we have wrath, right? We have wrath, we have rage. There are many English words that depict this act of being angry, of losing somebody's peace. So in Chinese, we probably have different characters as well, like 生气, and then we have 发怒, which is a higher degree of being upset. So I think this 生气is probably corresponding to English as pissed, like slightly annoyed. It's somebody's kind of pouting a little bit. That could be in Chinese as simple as 生气. And oftentimes, people may ask your mind of being, a state of mind, mind of being, then 生气 is one of the options. Of, we would say 你生气了吗? Right? So are you getting upset? Something like that. So that's I would say a pretty common, frequent occurrent state of being. So we don't really take that seriously, as like in English, we're pissed pretty often in life. So Chinese 生气. All right, catching into the currency of thinking about one word today with